So we're going to look at solving linear equations using balancing method. So here you may be asked to solve the equation 3a plus 8 equals 26. So this kind of comes off what we looked at with the number machines, but there's a different method that you will utilize more in your GCSEs. So I'm going to start by rewriting the question above. 3a plus 8 equals 26. Now, I believe we looked at something similar in previous videos, but I'm not entirely sure whether I explained it properly. So what we'd first look to do is kind of similar to making the letter A the subject or the formula. We are going to try and move the other numbers around it to the other side. We will start by moving the plus 8 to the other side. So the opposite of adding an 8 is taking away 8. So we're going to take away 8 on both sides of the equation. That's why it's balancing, because you kind of want to balance both sides like a seesaw. So what you do to one side, you do to the other side. We now write 3a is equal to 26 take away 8, okay? And 26 take away 8 is 18. So 3a is equal to 18. We're nearly there. We have now a 3 in front of our a. And what's happening between those two, if you remember, is that they're timesing together. So the opposite of timesing is dividing. So what we'll now look to do is divide both sides of this equation by 3, because we want to get rid of the 3 in front of the a. We're now left with a is equal to 18 divided by 3, which means that the value for a is 6. And that will work when we put it back into the original equation. 3 times 6 is 18, and 18 plus 8 gives you 26. So I hope that made sense. And we're going to now look at some more examples. So here, we're asked to solve the equation 4y plus 5 is equal to minus 3. So if you want to give that a go, I'll give you a moment to pause the video and try it. Okay, so if you gave that a go, well done. So let's see how you got on. So again, I always like to rewrite the equation. So 4y plus 5 equals to minus 3. I will now look at what's around my y. We have the 4 in front of it, and we have the plus 5. Now, you're probably also wondering why I always choose to move the plus 5 first instead of the 4y, or instead of the 4 in front of the y. The main reason is, if you try and move the 4 first, things start to look a lot more complicated because you're technically dividing everything through by 4. So let me show you what I mean. So if I decided to divide by 4, right? Yes, I do get rid of the 4 in front of the y. It becomes y. However, we also have to now divide the 5 by y. So now we have plus 5 over 4. Sorry, we have to divide the 5 by 4. Sorry, not by y. So we have to divide the 5 by 4. So we have 5 over 4, which equals to negative 3 over 4. But you see, this looks a lot more messier. You still will get the same answer, but it just look a bit more messier to obtain. Okay? So that's why I strongly recommend you always move the number that's kind of not directly associated with the letter you're trying to find, or the term you're trying to find. Anyway, I will start by moving my plus 5 to the other side, and the opposite of adding a 5 is taking away a 5. So I'll do it on both sides of the equation. We are now left with 4y is equal to minus 3 minus 5. So 4y is equal to minus 8. Now, to get y on its own, we do the opposite of timesing the y and the 4. So the opposite of timesing by 4 is dividing. So we're going to divide both sides by 4. So now you're left with y is equal to minus 8 divided by 4. So y is equal to minus 2. Hopefully that made sense to you. Any questions, feel free to leave a comment below and I'll get back to you as soon as humanly possible.